later on definitely in your lives too. So let's start.
We're going to be transforming this hall into pink. Tomorrow, remember I told you, you can merge. If you have anything left over to wear for yellow, you can do that. Yellow and orange is a continuation of yellow, and any shades of color that you feel comfortable in. Activity, if you have any question. Okay, thank you. Let's give them a round of applause and thank you all. Yes, and thank you once again. If anyone has any confusion about the activity, please ask now. Are you quite okay with the activity? Can we have a yes or a no? Everybody knows what has to be done? If you need any guideline, all the experts are there. We are there for all of you. If you have any confusion, and while keeping the EPL scenario on, if anyone has any question related to EPL, okay? And up till now what we have said about Dr. Maria Montessori or the 5 subjects and so on. Let's not go into the 5 subjects. Any question about EPL? No? Is that a yes or a no? Anyone would like to come up? There were people who were asking us individual questions. So why don't you stand up and ask a question so that from your question, then all of us can learn from the answer. Any question related to your child at home, of the things about the difficulties you may face as a mother? You may want to, these things, they are telling you, let the child touch, hold, pour, sweep. But do you think that's practically possible at home? So your time is now. Your time is now. Please do not hesitate. Ask your question and remove all hesitation. How could you handle the child at home with the help of EPL? Any questions? Any mothers sitting here? Yes. Please come up and listen to a question and listen to the answer so that we can all learn. And this is a golden opportunity, because here we make it look so beautiful and so simple, but practically when you apply, it's quite difficult. What's your question, ma'am? Ma'am, may I have it कभी?
If you see the quality of the
माइक पे बोलिए सब.
सीजर देती हूँ तो बोलोगे जिससे लड़ाई करते हैं.
They can't hear you. आप माइक यूज करिए जैसे मैं यूज करी माइक यूज करिए.
करीब
नहीं करिए. और
very close to your
वो आपस में लड़ाई करते हैं और आपको मारना शुरू कर देते हैं. सीजर बस में नहीं पकड़ा सकते.
Okay, I'll repeat her question. She said she has twins at home. What is their age? 3.5. And at home, if she gives them something like scissors or something, they are just fighting, and she needs an answer as to how to handle. But remember, we are not talking about the child. Here the question is about a twin. So 2 children at a time, that would definitely need some.
For this, do not give the child the scissor. Any one of them should not be given the scissor until they are well settled. They are normalized children. Their behavior is normal. They do not disturb each other. Although you are encouraged to introduce such activities to the child, but for such exercises, we need the normalization of the child. Once the normalization is achieved, child will be busy in his own work. He will not disturb the others.
Okay. Any other question related to EPL? How could you handle your children at home? What are some of the activities that you may provide them at home? Low cost, that will help them develop their personality, coordination and movement. Everybody is well settled and okay with all questions? No questions? Okay. Then you will stand for a lecture. we are focus on each of the theories every now and then, and in that way different parts put together will be a complete theory. Okay, so one theory of Dr. Maria Montessori. First of all, can you make a note of it, mental note, or write it down on your register that she has at least 6 theories. At least, I said. The major one, there is something called the absorbent mind. Have you ever heard that word? Have you ever heard that word, the absorbent mind? What is the absorbent mind? Where is the absorbent mind? Or who is the absorbent mind? 0 to 6 years. Okay? You will get a detailed lecture about the absorbent mind. But one of Dr. Maria Montessori's major theory is that the child is blessed with a special kind of mind. And the name that she has given to that mind, it's known as the absorbent mind. So simple. It takes a great lady like Dr. Maria Montessori to give such a precise name. Because if we break down these 2 words, absorbent and mind, what is the meaning of the word absorbent? Come on, we need answers. What is the meaning of the word absorbent? Something that takes in, it absorbs. What is the meaning of the word mind? Your brain. So the child's brain or the child's mind has the ability to absorb. Now the next question is, absorb what? The child's mind can absorb everything. And please write it down in capital letter. The child mind is capable of absorbing everything from the environment from the time he is born till age 6. How does that happen? The child is lying tiny, speechless, helpless. He can't walk, he can't move. So how can he absorb? Because the mind is working just like a sponge. And what is the quality of this sponge? You saw sponging from one bowl. Let's take a sponge and put it in a bowl of water. It will just take it up. That sponge does not have the ability or the power to decide that this water is dirty, this water is hot, it's cold, I don't like it, it's very smelly, I'm not going to take it up. Impossible. So too, after birth, whatever the child sees, hears, smells, tastes, when the senses are working, the total complete picture is being taken in his mind. Although we take it for granted, we say she is 3 months old. In front of small child, don't we use negative attitude? Kabhi to choti hai, bachchi hai, she could see but she doesn't understand. Many parents fight in front of children. Many parents use abusive language. 2 sisters are there in front of a baby, newborn baby brother, and they say, "Abhi yaar idhar aa." And 6 years later, the child says, "Abhi yaar idhar aa," and the parents are shocked. Where have you heard such a language? Because they didn't know that the mind was working. It was working like a camera. Suppose we find out there is a camera in this room. What happens to us? The moment we feel कि lift में, hotels में, कहीं भी there is a security camera, don't we become very conscious? Don't we walk properly? Suppose we are just sitting in the drawing room eating freely. Your leg is spread, you're lying on the bed upside down, watching TV, eating chips, and you find out somebody is watching you. What is the first human reaction? We sit up straight. We start to eat properly. Well, there is this child, I call the absorbent mind the dangerous mind. Because that mind is picking up every single thing from the environment. whether it is the language, our movement, our culture. That's why children end up speaking the language they hear. Not only the language they hear, but they speak with the same accent. A British child, why does he speak English with a British accent? How are you today? Why we Pakistani will say, how are you today? Why? Have you ever thought about that? Because the absorbent mind had done its work and it had taken in completely, making it a part of the child's personality. And this goes for everything. I cannot see the clock, but if I'm correct, the clock is almost 1:30, is it? And there is a whole complete lecture about the absorbent mind, so I'm not going to get carried away, is that it is the absorbent mind. And remember, everything we tell you, whether it is through the presentation, through our speeches, through our lectures, if you have seen the program and today is the 3rd day, do focus what is on the 14th day. Has anybody noticed what's on the 14th day? Nobody knows what's on the 14th day. Yes, it's your test. Not only your test, it's our test. See, all this preaching that we have been doing and passing on maximum information, there could be a question, true or false. One of Dr. Maria Montessori's theory is the absorbent mind. Would you write true or false? True. And where did you get the answer? From my lecture. So you're going to listen to everybody's lecture. You're going to be watching all presentation because you will learn in 15 days what you probably may not be able to learn in 15 years. And that is the beauty, the art that LMI and only LMI learns. With that note, thank you so much. Good luck for your activity. I've told you that the lectures are going to be there tomorrow. Very important lecture. Please be on time. You miss a lecture, you miss almost one complete part of the Montessori system. And then in the second half will be your activity. Good luck for that. We are looking forward to great presentation from your side. Allah Hafiz from the entire